All right, let's go. Moving into the blue cards for Lost Caverns of Ixalan. First card here, Cogwork Wrestler. 1 mana, 1/2 flash. Dude, this card is sick. What the hell? It's a gnome. When it enters the battlefield, target creature and opponent control gets -2/-0 until end of turn. So it is cool that it's an artifact. I mean, artifacts are very valuable in this format for craft reasons, for synergy reasons as well. I mean, again, it's like, yeah, this card's like way more well statted than cards that we normally see. I guess there was one card in God, what was that format? Zendikar Rising, that was basically also a 1 mana 1/2, right? It was a Merfolk Rogue. So not something that we haven't seen before, but yeah, I mean, still, I feel like your card's like whatever, you know? Like, how often am I gonna play this? Probably not that often, right? I'm gonna start this card off at a D plus. You guys want to give it a B? I'm gonna go and give this one a D plus to start off with. Maybe there's some synergies, but for the most part, I don't think I care that much. Just a filler card still. Pretty cool though. I mean, this card might be actually better in this format with a lot of 1/1s floating around, but yeah, I'm gonna start this off at a D plus. B plus? No, D plus, guys. D plus. Like, it's a fine card, but generally in Magic, like, you're looking for synergies, you're looking for cards that do more stuff. I mean, I guess this is fine if you have a lot of card draw, but in general, like, it's a really easy cut, isn't it? From your deck. Think about your 23 cards or whatever. And if you have over 23 cards, like, this guy can just go, right? No, it's not B plus, guys. D plus. D. D is in Deathsie. Okay, next card here, Araska Puzzle Door. Whoa. 1 mana, artifact. 1 mana tap, sacrifice Puzzle Door. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of those cards in your hand, other in your graveyard. Ah, pretty cool card. Like, really, really cool take on, like, these 1 mana cantrip type things. And it's also an artifact. And also you can... This is fodder to, I guess, craft with artifacts. Pretty cool. I want to start this one off as C minus, maybe. C minus, D plus, something like that. I do think this is better than that, than the Flash guy that we just did. But yeah, it works with Descend, so. Next card here, Relic's Roar. Damn, this card is sick. Or the art, look at that. Dude, that's like a relic, a stone relic crocodile. Oh my god. 1 mana instant. Until end of turn, target artifact or creature becomes a dinosaur artifact creature. With base power and toughness 4/3 in addition to other types. Wait, what? Wait, what? Dude, it's so funny. Like, they keep on trying to print these effects. And nobody's playing them, so they're like, fuck it. Just make it 1 mana, dude. Fuck it, make it 1 mana. It's kind of sick though. Bro, isn't this just like a blue lightning bolt? If you really think about it. Isn't this card kind of good? I mean, the value on it is not good, but like in terms of what it does for 1 mana, it's kind of good. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think I want to give this card like a C plus to start off with. But yeah, it's pretty hilarious. Like, okay, so if this card is not good, right? Next set is gonna be like, alright. It's gonna be -1 mana, so you play a card and then you actually get mana. Like they're just gonna keep pushing it until people actually play it, right? But it might be there already, we'll see. Okay, next card here, Brackish Blunder. 2 mana instant. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Okay, if it was tapped, create a map token. Okay. So bounce spell, you can bounce your own stuff as well. If it's tapped, you make it map token. Pretty cool, honestly. Kind of convoluted. I probably am not going to play it that much, but you know what? Like, if you bounce a tap thing, you get a map token. And then Explore is almost getting your card back, right? So, like, really, isn't it just kind of good? Isn't it just kind of good? Assuming that you get a map token. I feel like it's actually kind of good. If you think about this compared to a card like Whelming, to like a Tidal Crash or any of those like 3 mana bounce something draw card, it's actually very comparable, right? Comparable. I mean, the map token can brick, but it has a chance of getting a card back. Pretty cool. Huh. Yeah, super hard to say. I'm gonna start this one off as C- or D+. Maybe C- is fine, maybe D+. Let's start off as a C-. This card actually has more potential. So Explore basically is you look at the top card of your deck. Then if it's a land, you can put in your hand. If it's not a land, your creature gets +1/+1. And then you can either put it back or put it in your graveyard. So you can leave it there or put it in your graveyard. Really, really cool graveyard mechanics for this set so far. So worse than the gnome? Guys, the gnome's a D! Come on, guys. Inverted Iceberg. That is so cool. Oh my god, I never even thought about that. Are there places in the world that have, like... Is it possible to have underground icebergs, you think? That are like icicles? Aw, dude, that is awesome. Yeah, like a giant icicle, I mean. Is it possible to have a giant icicle? 2-mana artifact. When Inverted Iceberg enters the battlefield, mill a card, then draw a card. Okay. I like how there's a reminder text for mill. It's so funny, actually. Like, okay, what is the point of having a keyword for mill to make things shorter, but then you put reminder text anyways, and then it's super long? I think it's so funny. You mill a card, then draw a card. Then you craft with artifact for 6 mana. Craft with artifact for 6 mana. Becomes Iceberg Titan! What the... Look at this badass guy, man. He's like, fuck the iceberg. The Icicle Iceberg. 6/6. When it attacks, you may tap or untap target artifact or creatures. It can actually untap itself as well. Damn, this got kind of cool, man. So this is, for all intents and purposes, a cantrip, and it fills your graveyard a little bit, and then it becomes a 6/6. Huh. Dude, so interesting. Icebergler? Pretty awesome. But it's still just an expensive 6/6 for the most part, right? Yeah, it has some synergies and stuff. I don't know how much we care about it. Like, sure, you'll play some, but do we want to jam, like, all of these in our deck kind of thing? Dude, the play patterns for this format already seem extremely cool and intricate. Probably somewhere in the C range, though, right? Probably C- again. For Inverted Iceberg. Pretty cool, though. Next card here, Oaken Siren. Damn. Alright. What does Oaken refer to? 2 mana, 1/2 Flying Vigilance. Tap, add a blue. Spend this mana only to cast an artifact spell or activate an ability of an artifact source. 2 mana, 1/2 Flying Vigilance. Then it adds mana for artifacts or artifact source. Pretty cool card, but am I gonna play this? Probably not. I mean, it's a fine target for, like, Explore and stuff as well. Flying Vigilance? Really hard to say. Super hard to say. It's made out of the wood of the ship, I see. Is she a part of the ship here? I can't tell by the art, actually. I really cannot tell. It's probably like C-, D+ again. Start off as a D+. We'll see. Really hard to conceptualize how the format's gonna play out, like, with all of these mechanics and flexibility of him. Really hard to evaluate cards. Cracks maps for free, then gets bigger. Yeah, cracks maps for free, then gets bigger. It's like pretty cool, right? But then how does it? But then is that really what you want to be doing? Maybe I can't tell. I can see it being good, like somewhere in the C or D range. Though I don't think I want to put it in B range. Really hard to tell though. I can't tell. Anyways, next card here, Pirate Hat. 2 mana, equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, and it has whenever this creature attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. Alright, so it gets a loot. Costs 1 to equip a pirate. Costs 2 to equip something normally. I really can't tell either. I probably don't care about it that much, right? Pirate Hat? I don't think I care about it. Also, what sort of pirate hat is that? Like a steampunk pirate hat? I mean, it's probably decent, but yeah. I don't think we're gonna be trying to play this that often. Gonna start off as a D. Oh, I can't tell. Alright, next card here, River Herald Scout. 2 mana, 1/2, enters the battlefield and explores. Pretty good card, huh? Pretty good card as well. I mean, still kind of filler, but I mean, it's like pretty good filler. It's a 1/2 though. It'll be able to block tokens and 3/1s, I guess. I mean, just great filler, just great filler card. It can be either a 2/3 or you get a land. Pretty darn good. I mean, I can't tell. I think I'm just gonna give it a flat C. Just a flat C. I don't really remember how cards like these are in like the previous Ixalan sets and stuff, but I think I'm just gonna give it a flat C. Very, very serviceable. I mean, a card that you're probably never unhappy playing. Also, not a card that's like super broken or anything. Just very, very solid. Next card here, Shipwreck Sentry. Is this a reprint or not? 2 mana, 3/3 defender. As long as the artifact entered the battlefield under your control this turn, it can attack as though it didn't have defender. Shipwreck Sentry. I mean, we've had cards like this before. I don't think I've ever seen it be a human though, actually. Now that I think about it. I mean, I don't think we care about this card at all. Probably gonna start this card off at a D-. It's like, yeah, maybe you can play like these tempo-based decks with Shipwreck Sentry. It's probably not even that bad, right? Like you play this and you're just kind of always playing artifacts. So essentially it is a 2 mana 3/3, but I feel like we don't care about 2 mana 3/3 in this format, right? Like there's so much explore, there's so many cards that are doing better things than just being being an attacker / blocker that has a stipulation on it. Yeah, so I don't think we care about it. D-. Next card here, Song of Stupefaction. What does stupefaction mean? Like to confuse something? 2 mana aura, enchant creature or vehicle. When Song enters the battlefield, you may mill 2 cards. Okay. You may mill 2 cards. Oh! Dude, this guy has a flavor text ability! Fathomless Descents. Damn, what the hell? I haven't seen that in forever. Since Dungeons and Dragons, right? Fathomless Descent. Enchanted permanent gets -X/-O, where X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. Enchanted permanent gets -X/-O. X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. Has to be stunned and awe, right? So the interesting thing about this card is that it fills your graveyard for Descents, right? Otherwise, the card is like really uninspiring. So probably start this one off at a D-. Don't think this card we care about. But it is cool that it has a flavor text thing there. Fathomless Descent, that's awesome. Next card here, Sage of Days. Okay. 3 mana, 3/2. Sage of Days enters the battlefield. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may put one of those cards back on top of your library. Put the rest in your graveyard. So, generally, like, not that good, I think. It really depends on how much you care about filling up your graveyard, I guess. It's a little bit of card selection, but I think that from the cards we've seen so far, it's not very good. I don't think we want to play it, right? And it's not really Organ Hoarder. Like, you don't go up a card, right? After this age, another. Very, very, very cool flavor text, to be honest. I think I want to give this guy a flat D. I don't expect to be playing it unless we really have crazy graveyard synergies, but even then, it's probably filler, right? Next card here, Waterwind Scout. 3 mana, 2/2 flying. When Scout enters the battlefield, create a map token. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Seems like a pretty good common. It also blocks the 3/2 flyer for white. In white. Get a map token. Pretty cool card. I do like it. I want to start the card off as a C+, probably. I don't want to give it anything more than that. I don't think it goes into the B range. C+ sounds good. It's a Windrake. It has some value attached to it. Serviceable, better if you're aggressive than not. Yeah, I think C+ sounds acceptable for me. Next card here, Ancestral Reminiscence. All right, so this is like just honoring the dead. 4 mana sorcery, draw 3 cards, then discard a card. Okay, pretty big draw spell. And choosing cards to discard is also pretty cool as well, for excavation reasons. Pretty cool card. I don't expect to play this that often. It's a very reminiscent of the card from War of the Spark, Tamio's Epiphany, I think. It says Ancestral. It does say Ancestral. True, and it does also say draw 3 cards. Ah. I want to give this like D+, C-. Probably D+. I think it's fine, but in a set with a bunch of explore and map tokens and crafting and stuff, I feel like a card like this is not the way that you want to get card advantage. Very similar to Wilds of Eldraine that we just had, where Wilds of Eldraine, you really want to be getting card advantage on like adventure cards, stuff like that. I don't think you really need a card like this, but you know, in some decks, maybe decks that have a lot of mana can use this. Yeah, it's basically just Sift, right? Yeah, it's just Sift. But Sift was uncommon, wasn't it? So, a little bit of power creep. Next card here, Frilled Cave Worm. Damn, son, it's a salamander worm. Damn, when's the last time we saw a salamander in Magic? 4 mana, 2/5, descend 4. Frilled Cave Worm gets +2/+0 as long as there are 4 more permanent cards in your graveyard. 4 more permanent cards in your graveyard. Descend 4. So this is our first time seeing the descend mechanic. So I guess descend just requires something in graveyard, and then if you meet that qualification, then you get a buff. It can be a 4 mana 4/5, but it doesn't fill the graveyard on its own either. Really hard to say. Maybe there are strategies revolving around this, and then this guy's just an all-star. But I think in general, I don't care about it that much. I'm gonna start off as a C-. I generally don't care about it that much. It's not a card that's an engine. It's not a card that is probably that important. I mean, maybe if you get a bunch of them and then you can build around it, it is a common. So we'll see if a strategy like that is going to be good. But yeah, start at C for Cave. All right. So I actually saw this next card since Ali Eldrazi tweeted it out. Out of Air, 4 mana instant. Spell costs 2 less if it targets a creature spell. Or you can pay the full 4 mana to counter target spells. So actually a really, really cool design. This is this honestly kind of blew my mind last night because this design space is kind of out of my realm of expectation. I didn't think that we had the technology to design a card like this. It's actually really, really clean, and I love the templating on it. So basically, blue to counter a creature spell, then or 4 mana to counter any spell. Really, really cool. Like super interesting design. And I also one other thing that I really like about it is I like it. I like that it's blue for Essence Scatter. I think like Essence Scatter being like one colorless in a blue is kind of a little bit too cheap. So having a nerf to the base Essence Scatter, I think overall is going to be much more enjoyable. Like if somebody counters me with blue, like I'm like, all right, sure, yeah, you got me, right? Because the cost is there, so I really do like it. Yeah, it feels like an alchemy card, something like that. I mean, the flexibility on the card is what's interesting, right? And also that it's not just like too compact for these blue decks to be able to run them without a cost. So I actually do really like it. That being said, in terms of card ratings, probably gonna give this card like C minus or D plus, right? Something like that. Probably gonna start off as a D plus, I think. Maybe it plays out better than it looks, but yeah. I don't think it's even gonna be a C for me. It really just depends on how blue you are, right? But yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna start off as a D plus. I don't want to start off in the C range. I don't think. Next card here, Unlucky Drop. 4 mana instant. Target artifact or creature's owner puts on top or bottom of their library. I generally just don't like cards like this. I generally just don't like it. I think that this is like a really weak version of ones that we've seen in recent times as well. It does let you target artifact, but I feel like it's not enough. I feel like this card probably needed something else in addition to it, either like draw a card or make a 1/1 or something like that. So I don't expect this card to be playable. Probably gonna start this one off as a D minus here for Unlucky Drop. D for drop. Next card here, Waylaying Pirates. 4 mana, 3/3. Enters the battlefield if you control an artifact. Tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls, put a stun counter on it. Alright. I don't really like it. I don't really like it. Like, it seems like blue really wants to be some sort of tempo-based, play stuff, tap stuff down, gets, I don't know, and to be super annoying kind of thing. I don't really see it, though, for the most part. I don't see why I'm going to be playing this card. I think I'm going to start this one off as a D minus as well. For Waylaying Pirates. Okay, so the blue cards have not been that impressive for us. I've actually only given out Ds and Cs in blue, which is quite surprising. Because if we compare that to white, white in the comments, I gave a lot of Bs, right? I didn't give any As to white, but a lot of Bs. And we're almost done with the comments here, so we'll see. Next card here, Didact? Didact. What does this word mean, chat? Didact. Didact Echo. 5 mana 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Okay. Send 4. Echo is flying as long as there are 4 more permanent cards in your graveyard. Teaching. How do you pronounce it? Didact. Didact? Didactic. Didact. Okay. Didact Echo. It's a cool card, but it seems so expensive. Does it? So it is a cool card. Don't get me wrong, right? Like I would love to play this in other formats, but based off of the power level I saw in white, like is this card really acceptable? 5 mana 3/2 sure replaces herself, but in a format with like a bunch of explore and map tokens, like how much do I care about that? And then she's not even flying on her own. Like, I think even if she had flying on her own, I still wouldn't rate it that highly. But she needs Descend 4. So I don't know about this Abuela. I don't know about this Abuela. I feel like Descend 4 is not easy to achieve. Like, you have to go out of your way to do it. I feel like it's not easy because it's permanence, right? Like, if it's 4 of any card, all right, maybe a little bit easier, but even that requires some work. But 4 permanence is like really hard. Because the thing is that if you think about it, every instant sorcery you put in your deck, it actually dilutes your Descend as well. And I assume blue cares about instant sorceries as much as anyone else does. So yeah, I really don't see it. I'm gonna give her a D- as well. D for Deduct. But yeah, I don't know. Alright, the very last comment here. Marauding Brinefang. 7 mana, 6/7. Ward 3, Island Cycling 2. It is a chonker, I will have to say. It is a chonker. I thought that the blue Planecycler in War of the Spark was actually 7 mana. So I'm happy that whoever designed this put it up to 7. So that I don't embarrass myself. But yeah, really, really cool. That being said, it's not really like the type of design I'm looking for because, again, late in the game, sure, it's a finisher or whatever, but I would rather have something that's defensive, something that like stabilizes the game, right? And maybe a 6/7 Ward 3 does, but I find it difficult to believe. I guess Island Cycling is pretty good with Descents, if you think about it, right? It puts a guaranteed permanent in your graveyard, but not really that excited about it. I think I'm gonna give this one a D+ as well. All right, so I was not very kind to blue comments thus far. We've given everything either a C or a D. But yeah, at the moment I failed to see exactly what blue is supposed to be doing. Let's move on to the uncommons here. Spyglass Siren. 1 mana, 1/1 flying. When enters a battlefield, create a map token. Okay. Wait, enters battlefield, create a map token. I mean, 1/1 flyer that makes a map. I don't really see what's there to complain about. But like the 1-drops in this format are actually just pretty sick. The 1-drops in the format are sick. I think I'm gonna start Siren off as just like a flat B, maybe. Somewhere like B-, B-, B+, that kind of range. So I think just give me a B is fine. Yeah. I mean, not much to complain about, right? Like, you get exactly what you pay for. And the map tokens are really interesting as well. Like, map tokens existing on the battlefield means that a lot of your other artifact synergy stuff is just going to be very easy to make. Like, very easy to have. So maybe, like, the blue hill giant that stuns something if you have an artifact is actually just pretty decent, but I don't feel like I want to be playing a deck like that, so yeah. At the moment, blue is still kind of a mystery to me. Anyways, it starts off at a B here. Next card here, Waterlogged Hulk. Where's the Hulk part of it? Waterlogged Hulk. Waterlogged Hulk. That's supposed to be a being? Anyways, 1 mana artifact. Tap to mill a card, okay. So it's an enabler for Descent and Excavation, whatever. Craft with Island? What is that? That is cool. Okay. You can craft with an island. Okay, so you can exile an island you control or an island in your graveyard. That's cool. Flick the Hulk. Dude, this is a cool card, though. And then it becomes Watertight Gondola. Watertight Gondola. Did they have this technology back then? That's pretty crazy. The 4/4 Vigilant vehicle has Descend 8. Oh my god! This thing can go deep sea diving! Watertight Gondola can't be blocked as long as there are 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard. And then or as crew 1. Dude. The design for this card is so cool. Who did this? Who did this? Who designed this card? Dude, this card is like a masterpiece in terms of design. What? So like, forget about how good this card is or what. Like the actual just design and flavor and the way this card comes together. I think the design of this card like deserves some sort of award for this. That is cool. What? It's very interesting because I feel like a lot of Magic in recent times has been very uninspiring, especially after especially after March of the Machine. So to see like things like this is really kind of blowing my mind. Anyways, how good is it? How good is it? It seems more fancy than good. It is a little bit of an engine, right? Like you get a self mill and stuff. It's pretty cool. Then you craft it with an island, which is so cool as well. The vigilant creature. I don't like it that much, to be honest. I really don't like it that much. I think I'm gonna start off as a C-. But yeah, in terms of design, like, man, this has got to be one of the coolest designed cards I've seen in an incredibly long time. Started off as C- here for Waterlogged Hulk. Alright, next card here, Chart a Course is back. 2 mana sorcery, draw 2 cards, and then discard a card unless you attacked this turn. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Chart a Course. I love Chart a Course. This is the sort of card draw I like. Very, very nice, very compact, very flexible. In this format, it might be relevant to actually even discard a card instead of always drawing the flat 2. A lot of good flyers we've seen for cheap that we're already going to be playing in both blue and white. I like it. Let's give this card a B-. Just a very clean design Magic card. Happy to see it. Good for constructed formats as well. Whoa, look at this card. Damn, look at the art in this card. Is sick. Is that a rose as well down there? Like a black rose of the Dust Legion or something? Eaten by Piranhas. 2 mana or flash. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a black skeleton creature with base power and toughness 1/1. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a black skeleton creature with base power and toughness 1/1. Okay. The Flash Frogify. Don't know how good that's gonna be, but that's pretty darn cool. This is an alchemy card, chat. That's pretty cool. I mean, Frogify with Flash is kind of good, I will have to say. Like, pretty decent. I'm gonna give this card a C+, I think. Which is way higher than I would normally give a Frogify or whatever. I don't think I'm gonna put in the B range. I think C+ is fine for this. I'm not sure if you guys saw, but like, actually, there was one interesting thing about Ixalan spoiler season so far. I saw I was watching Amy's stream. I was watching Amy's stream, and Amy was opening a full booster box of Caverns of Ixalan, and that kind of blew my mind. Like, isn't that kind of off-putting? Like, this is not a criticism towards Amy or whatever. Like, it's more of a criticism towards Wizards. It's kind of crazy that people to see people just opening a full set, like basically right as spoilers just get released. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, I honestly don't really understand it. It was super weird to see. It's super weird to see. I mean, it's fine to open packs and stuff. I just think that the timing is too soon, right? It's like the timing is just way too soon. Like, at least wait until like early access event or something like that to open the stuff. But it just felt like it was spoiling the party a little bit for me. I mean the early access event, people already feel that it spoils the party, right? That people are getting open stuff before it's even available. So anyways, it was just something that was on my mind. Just very interested that that they allowed that, so. Anyways, okay, next card here. Hermitic Nautilus. Oh my gosh, it's Ammonite. 2 mana, 1/4 Vigilance. 2 mana, Nautilus gets +3, -3 until end of turn. Dude, I'm kind of in love with this card. This card is sick. Again, wears counters pretty well. I guess it would need 3 counters for it to activate twice, which is a lot. But yeah, this guy's a chonker, dude. I love seeing these good 2 mana 1/4s, by the way. They really slow down formats, and it just makes gameplay more interesting, in my opinion. Yeah, I've also never seen a +3, -3 increment, but this card is really cool. That being said, what do we want to give it? Probably a C+. Really, really cool card, though. I'm in love with the flavor of the format so far, and I'm generally not really a flavor person. But really in love with what I'm seeing thus far. Isn't it an Ammonite? Yeah, it's an Ammonite or an Omnistar or whatever. Next card here, Lodestone Needle. Yeah, the art is sick. What the hell? 2 mana artifact flash. When Lodestone Needle enters the battlefield, tap up to 1 target artifact or creature and put 2 stun counters on it. All right, so it's like poison. It's basically inubrating. Inubrating, is that the right word? It's basically inubrating a creature. Then it has craft with artifact for 3. And then it becomes Guidestone Compass. 1 mana tap target creature you control explores. Activate only as a sorcery. Wait, this card's kind of sick. It does require some work. But, I mean, it's a defensive tool. And has flash, so, you know, 2 stun counters on your opponent's turn is actually a lot. Actually really a lot. Like, that's a lot of turns that creature is just out of the game. Then you craft with artifact. And then you can just spam explore. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think I want it in the B range as well. Let's give it a flat B maybe. I don't really want to even give it a B+. I think it does require work, but it's a really cool card. Like, the incentives are there, right? You are incentivized to do it. I like it. I like it. Okay, next card here. Staunch Crewmate. What is he doing? 2 mana, 2/1. When Crewmate enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact or pirate card from among them. Put it in your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. I do like this card, huh? I do like this card. Artifact or pirate? So he's basically picking up a pirate. That's pretty cool. Leave you? Not a chance. You still owe me money. I love it. I love this guy. I love him. This guy's sweet. I'm gonna start this card off as a B- as well. Pretty cool card, man. Where did all this inspiration come from in Wizards? Like, what happened? What happened, honestly? I don't understand. Did like the whole design department take a trip to Mexico and take like ayahuasca or something? Like, what happened? I don't understand. All right. Next card here, Confounding Riddle. 3 mana instance. Choose one. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of them in your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Okay. Or counter target spell unless its controller pays 4. Alright. A little bit of power creep. I mean, the one that we saw before was pay 3, right? And then it's interesting because this one does put cards into your graveyard. Pretty powerful. I do like it. Probably give this card like a B+. Can we have a Deathsie ayahuasca trip in Peru? Are you guys down? Would you guys watch that? We would probably have to stream it on Kick. But I do have a Kick account. Kick.com/Deathsie. we can just do like an ayahuasca IRL. Ayahuasca IRL, anyone? Anyways, okay, let's give this card a B plus. I actually like it. DMT and Deathsie date night. Uh-huh. Alright. That's on the to-do list, chat. DMT and Deathsie. My god. Next card here, Merfolk Cave Diver. 3 mana, 2/4. Whenever a creature you control explores, Cave Diver gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Can't be blocked. Damn, this guy's kind of a chonker. Like, pretty well statted. It looks like blue is really trying to be the sort of tempo-based attacking deck, actually. I mean, it's very well statted. Like, too well statted, right? Like, the power creep in this format has actually been pretty absurd. I do like it. I do like it. There's a lot of ways to explore as well. And honestly, it's just a chonker. Pretty good. I think I'm gonna give this card a flat B. Huh. Next card here, Zodic Glyph. What does Zodic mean? Is that referring to like Zodiac? Zodic Glyph. 3 mana, enchant artifact. Enchanted artifact is a golem creature with base power and toughness 5/4, in addition to its other types. Okay, so this is like enchant soul or something, but a 5/4 is pretty big, dude. When Glyph is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, discover 3. All right, what exactly is discover again, chat? What is discover? What is discover? It's Cascade. It's like Super Cascade, right? It's like Super Cascade. All right. So this is our first time seeing Discover, but I assume that we're gonna get some flavor text or some reminder text soon for Discover. I'm surprised that it doesn't have text for the Discover on this card, because usually they only do that for like rares. Pretty decent, yeah, pretty decent. Huh. I'm gonna give this card a B minus, maybe? Start off as a B minus. It still seems a little bit hard to use, but the incentives are there for sure. I guess I can even give this an A. I actually haven't given blue a single A in the format. Is it crazy to give this card an A, though? I mean, it's bad against, like, pacifism or something, but... It's probably just... I mean, I think A minus is actually fine for this. Like, you just always have map tokens and stuff. And honestly, if you put in a map token and it gets pacified, then you can just pop the map token, right? Actually, I think it's pretty good. All right, next card here, Hurl into History. This art is insane. What the hell? This is like Madoka Magica or something. 5 mana instant, counter target artifact or creature spell. Discover X, where X is a spell's mana value. All right, here we go. So Discover is exile cards from your top of your library until you exile a non-land card with that mana value or less. Cast it without paying its mana cost or put in your hand. Put the rest in the bottom in a random order. Alright, so Cascade Plus. Dude, I'm loving like the flavors and themes of the format so far. Counter-target artifact or creature spell. Discover X where X is a spell's mana value. People are thinking D. I think this card sounds super good, doesn't it? It sounds a lot like, what was the one where it's like you counter it and then you get treasures or whatever? Yeah, like Spell Swindle. Sounds good to me. Like a really tempo-based big counter spell. I actually love the design space. I think I want to give this card like a B plus. This card seems phenomenal to me. 5 mana is a lot to hold up, yeah, but you have to assume that you're holding up other stuff as well, right? So I think it's really cool. I think it's really, really good, actually. So I'm gonna give this card a B plus. Cascade Counterspell. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I could be wrong. This only counters artifacts and creatures. I mean that's good enough, I think. No enchantment. I mean that's fine. I mean Spell Swindle is also a rare. Like, this card just seems perfect to me. Seems perfect. It seems very good. Not completely overpowered or anything, but, like, really good. Obviously, your Discover is gonna vary a lot. But, I think it's pretty powerful. I'm happy to give it a B+ here. Alright, next card here, Council of Echoes. 6 mana, 4/4 flying, descend 4. When Council of Echoes enters a battlefield, if there are 4 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, return up to 1 non-land permanent other than Council of Echoes to its owner's hand. Okay, so what exactly does this mean? 1 non-land permanent other than Council of Echoes. So does it mean only this Council of Echoes, or does it mean another Council of Echoes as well? I assume it means another as well, right? It is expensive. 6 mana, 4/4 flyer. I mean, it's well statted, I guess. Descend 4, probably pretty reasonable at this point in the game. And then you get to return a non-land permanent. Pretty good. I do like it. Another always rephrased as name this. Okay, so it's the same name. I see. I see. What do we want to rate this card? It's like probably somewhere in the C range, like C+ or something. C+, probably not in the B range. I think I like it as C+. It seems better than C- to me. What do you guys think? I think I like it as C+. Yeah. I mean, the value is there for sure. Really hard to tell how blue is supposed to play out though. But from what I've seen so far in the blue cards, it really does look like blue is the support color. More so than blue being a main color. But maybe just like playing creatures and descending and exploring is already just a deck. So maybe it actually looks a lot better than I'm giving it credit for. But yeah. Okay, next card here, Self-Reflection. Wow. 6 mana, sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. Flashback for 4. I didn't even know that there's flashback in the format. I mean, I'm a sucker for clones. I will have to say, I'm a real sucker for clones. This one is a very cool one as well. Like, you can actually, there are actually a lot of ways to pitch cards in the format as well. You know, cards like Chart of Course, other things as well. And then you get value out of just having cards in your graveyard. I actually like it a lot. I think somewhere in the B sphere for me. Probably just a flat B. I actually like it a lot. I think this card's awesome. A lot of value tacked onto one card as well. But yeah, really cool card. I love it. Really love it. All right, and the very last uncommon for blue, sinuous Benthesaur. What is sinuous? 6 mana, 4/4. Another 6-drop? Dude, blue has infinite 6-drops. What the hell? Bro, I've never seen blue have so many 6-drops before. When Benthesaur enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of caves you control, plus the number of cave cards in your graveyard. Put 2 of those cards into your hand. Okay, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Dude, blue has infinite 6 mana value cards. So you do need caves. I assume that there are caves at common. We haven't looked at any of the cave cards yet. Mole Drifter, a huge Mole Drifter, yeah. Having many curves and turns, okay. Curves, maybe it's like related to sine. Like cosine. Really hard to tell. I mean, it's just like the thing about blue is that it's just competing so much in the 6 mana slot, right? Just competing so much in the 6 mana slot. Anyways, I have no idea, So let's start the card off as a C plus, and we'll have to see. All right, moving on to the rares here. Deep Root Pilgrimage, 2-mana enchantment. When one or more non-token merfolk you control become tapped, create a 1/1 blue merfolk creature token with hexproof. So you can tap them with cards that tap, or you can just attack with merfolk. So kind of a snowballing card, and actually, if you think about it, it's kind of good because it makes merfolk, and then the merfolk's gonna continue to fuel it, right? The question is, how do you get the merfolk continuing to attack? It's pretty cool though. Yeah, this is Merfolk Blossom or whatever. It doesn't feel for himself. Oh, it doesn't. Non-token Merfolk. Okay, never mind. Non-token. I don't think it's that good then, actually. Don't think it's that good. I mean, do Merfolk have non-attacking abilities that much? I don't think it's that good. Crew the vehicles. It sounds really difficult, honestly. It seems really hard. I guess if you're playing a full Merfolk and then you have like a single vehicle, you can crew and just get infinite 1/1s basically. Maybe it is good. Like, it can be good, but it's so hard to use, right? It can be good, but it's so hard to use. I really can't tell. I really can't tell. I think I'm gonna start this one off as a C minus. Starting off as a C minus. Okay, let's go next here. Malcolm, Alluring Scoundrel. 2-mana 2/1. Flash flying. When Malcolm deals combat damage to a player, put a chorus counter on it. Draw a card, then discard a card. If there are 4 more chorus counters on Malcolm, you may cast a discarded card without paying its mana cost. That's pretty cool. I mean, usually if you connect 4 times to this, your opponent's almost dead already. But, you know, with like maps and explore and stuff, it's pretty easy to get this guy continuing to attack. So your opponent is going to need a removal spell. Then 4 more chorus counters, you can cast the discarded card without paying its mana cost. So that's like, that's usually going to be a pipe dream, but overall, not much to complain about. It's well statted, as flash, as flying. It's also looting. Seems great to me. Probably give this card an A+. And then, you know, once in a blue moon, you can maybe get a 6-drop for free or something like that. But, yeah. Next card here, Subterranean Schooner. 2 mana, 3/4. Its vehicle. When Schooner attacks, target creature that crewed it this turn explores. Crew 1. This card kind of pushed. This card's kind of pushed, right? Isn't this like just an S tier card? It's cheap. It's crew 1. The thing that crews it explores. I feel like it's just an S. This card is like giga pushed, actually. Giga pushed. I don't see how that's remotely reasonable. Yeah. Alright. Because it, yeah, alright. Okay. Target creature that crewed it. Yeah, so you can't explore with multiple, but yeah. Very good. Very good. Next card here, Akal Pakal. First among equals. 3 mana, 1/5. At the beginning of each player's end step, if an artifact enters the battlefield under your control this turn, look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Okay, so it's a chonky 1/5. And then each player's end step, if an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, okay, so it has to be your control. So usually it's only gonna be on your turn. Look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one in your hand, other in your graveyard. Seems really good. Probably just give this guy an A+. I mean, easy to use, it's well statted, it's gonna hold explore counter as well. It's just gives you value for no reason. I assume it's going to be basically impossible for most decks to kill. as a 1/5, so A plus sounds good. All right, next card here, Braided Net. 3 mana artifact enters the battlefield with 3 net counters on it. All right. Some would even say that that's pretty net positive. Tap, remove a net counter from Braided Net. Tap another target non-land permanence. Okay, tap another target non-land permanence. Its activated abilities can't be activated for as long as it remains tapped. Okay, so it's kind of like a God, I don't even know what card I'm thinking of. But there's a really old card that basically did this as well, like a Tangle Wire, something like that. Move a net counter from Braided Net. Tap another target non-land permanent. Activated abilities can't be activated as long as it's being tapped. Okay. Craft with artifact for 2 mana. So it doesn't stay tapped, right? It doesn't stay tapped. So actually, it's more like an Icy Manipulator, I guess, huh? After a non-land permanent, activators can't be activated as long as they remain tapped. Alright, then craft with artifact for 2 mana. Then it becomes Braided Quipu. Okay. 4 mana tap, draw a card for each artifact you control. Then put Braided Quipu into its owner's library third from the top. Draw a card for each artifact you control. Damn, that's a huge card draw spell. What? So you draw a bunch, so you draw like some cards, and it counts itself as well. Then you put it back into your owner's library. Dude, the play pattern is actually really cool, this card. Seems good. And it's also cheap as well. I like it. I think I'm gonna give this an A+. Do you guys think it's not good? You poo. I think it's good. Why is it not good? So it's Icy Manipulator 3 times, then you craft it with an artifact, and then you self-to-spend mana, but you draw a bunch of cards, then you get it back again. I actually like it. I think I want to give this in the A range. Maybe A- then. Yeah, like, you draw a lot. Like, this is a really, really cool sort of sub-game, or you know. How's this card good at the A cards? I think A- is good for this. Why do we not like it? Like, what do you not like about it? It costs 3 mana. You can do this 3 times without paying any mana for it. And then pretty simple craft with artifact, and it draws you a bunch of cards, and then you get it back again to do it again. It sounds really good to me. I don't understand. Slow doesn't remove anything? Like, why does it matter though? Why does it matter though? People here would rather pick a 1 white, 1/2, put a counter. I mean, I like the card as well, Amaz, but like, I don't see what's there to complain about with this card. Like, are you happy if your opponent plays this? I don't think so. If your opponent plays this, aren't you like, fuck, I need to either end the game soon, which is gonna be really hard, or I need to remove this Braided Net, right? Doesn't that mean it's a good card? Like, I don't understand why it's bad. Like, why, like, how it can be bad. It's expensive, yeah, but you get what you pay for, right? Like, you literally get what you pay for. Like, this card seems pretty absurd. Seems pretty absurd to me. It's also flexible. It's good if you're attacking. It's good if you're trying to stay alive. Just a lot of play to it. How many cards do you need to draw for it to be good? 1. Actually, wait, does it count itself? Hold on. Does it count itself on the card draw? It does, right? Record for each artifact control, then put, yeah, it says then, so it does count itself. Seems good to me. 1 wouldn't make you the happy. Why would it not make you the happy? Because you're about to get it again, right? Because you're about to get it again very soon, and then it's gonna put your opponent through like a very difficult time again. Okay, next card here, Kitesail Larcenist. 3 mana, 2/3, Flying Ward 1. When Larcenist enters the battlefield, for each player, choose up to one other target. For each player, choose up to one other target, artifact, or creature that player controls. Okay. Or as long as Kitesail Larcenist remains on the battlefield. For as long as Kitesail Larcenist remains on the battlefield, the chosen permanents become treasure artifacts with tap, sack this artifact, add 1 mana of any color, and lose all other abilities. Okay, so it's a well-statted flyer. Enters the battlefield. For you and for them, in a 2-player game, choose one artifact or creature, and it becomes a treasure as long as this guy is on the board. Seems very good. AI card, yeah. Is this AI generated? Aw. It is cool though. Why is it not good? Why is it not good? I don't see how this card cannot be good. Like, why would this card not be good? It's well statted, has no downside. You basically get to trash their best thing, and they need a removal spell for this thing, and this thing is already pretty well statted, and has Ward 1, and it's attacking. I don't get it. I want to give this guy an A+, probably. Seems really good to me. Seems like it's always good as well. But yeah, seems good. Okay, next card here, Overflowing Well. 3 mana, legendary artifact. When Well enters the battlefield, you mill 2, then you draw 2. Okay. Pretty good divination, I will have to say. Then has Descend 8. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, transform Overflowing Well. Descend 8 is a lot, by the way. God. It becomes the Myriad Pools, legendary artifact land. It's interesting that these lands can actually get disenchanted, which is pretty cool too, actually. So tap to add a blue. Whenever you cast a permanent spell by using mana produced by Myriad Pools, up to one other target permanent you control becomes a copy of that spell until end of turn. That is kind of cool, man. So this is like a cloning land. It's a cloning land. You play something, and then something else becomes a copy of that spell until end of turn. Huh? And you can clone, like, artifacts and stuff as well. What the fuck, dude? This card is way too cool. Yeah, blue is, like, big brain, dude. This card is cool. I mean, the floor on it is already super good, isn't it? Mill 2, draw 2, and then you leave an artifact behind. Like, that's already insane in the format, I think. And then if you get the Descend, then you get to do some fun stuff that's never been seen before in Magic. Hard to evaluate it though. I guess I just give it an A. Just give it a flat A, like whatever. I don't know. Good card. We'll see how it goes. Next card. Yo, Drox, welcome back. Thanks so much for the 16 months, baby. Good to have you back here. Happy Ixalan, my friend. Next card here, Tishana's Tidebinder. 3 mana, 3/2 flash. Man, there's a lot of flashing going on in this format. These. Okay, anyways, flash. When Tishana's Tidebinder enters the battlefield, counter up to one target activated ability or triggered ability. If an ability of an artifact, creature, or planeswalker is countered this way, that permanent loses all abilities for as long as Tishana's Tidebinder remains on the battlefield. Wow, what a weird card. What a weird card. It's like a flash Fiend Hunter for abilities. What a weird card. I mean, seems fine. Probably give this card an A-. A- or B+. Maybe B+ is fine. I think B+ is good for this. It's probably not in the A range, right? Really interesting card though. Alright. Alright, look at this card. This card's sick. The Enigma Jewel. Moving into the Mythics now. 1 mana legendary artifact. Jewel enters the battlefield tapped. Tap it. Add a colorless, spend this mana only to activate abilities. Alright, well that's pretty narrow. Spend this mana only to activate ability. I mean, there are a lot of good mana sinks in the format, actually. So like a soul ring for abilities, actually not too bad. And then it has craft with 4 or more non-lands with activated abilities. Craft with 4 or more non-lands with activated abilities. Okay. 9 mana. It can pay for itself, I guess. It can pay for itself, so basically 7 mana. Becomes Locus of Enlightenment. Legendary artifact. Locus of Enlightenment has each activated ability of the exiled cards used to craft it. You may activate each of those abilities only once each turn. So actually so if you have like 4 different abilities or whatever, you can activate each of them but only once a turn. Whenever you activate an ability that isn't a mana ability, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. Ah. Well, there are a lot of hoops to jump through, but assuming that you have mana sinks and stuff, gonna be pretty good, I guess. I mean, I feel like you'll find a way to use it. You'll find a way to use it, right? You'll find a way to use it. I mean, like, the cool thing about crafting is that you can craft from your graveyard as well, so I think that this card's actually good. I think the card is actually good. How the hell do we evaluate it, though? It's impossible to evaluate. I think I just give it an A and just move on. It probably ranges from, like, C, from, like, maybe even D, depending on the deck, to S. So, yeah. 7 mana wings of Planeswalker. Are there Planeswalkers in the set? Maybe there's one. I'm not sure. Okay, next card here. The final card for blue. This guy is a fucking beast. Look at this guy, dude. That is insane. O'Hare Pakpadik. Pakpatiku. O'Hare Papatiku. Deepest Epoch. 4 mana, 4/3, flying. Whenever you cast an instant spell from your graveyard, it gains a rebound. How's there random rebound in this set? So rebound is exile it as it resolves. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast that from exile without paying its mana cost. Okay. Whenever you cast an instant spell from your hand, it gains rebound. Okay, so only instants. When O'Hare Pakpatiku dies, return it to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control with 3 time counters on it. It becomes Temple of Cyclical Time. Land. Tap, add a blue. Remove a time counter from Temple of Cyclical Time. Okay, so adds mana, but you have to remove a time counter. 3 mana tap, transform Temple of Cyclical Time. Activate only if it has no time counters on it and only as a sorcery. So then it becomes... So then this god returns back, travels through time, and is a creature again. I mean, I assume it's just gotta be an S. I don't see what else. I don't see what else you can ask from a magic card. Yeah, I guess. Okay, cool. You can get more mana if you can't transform. You get more mana. I don't see what the point of it is, though. Oh, it's not a cost. I see. So you can keep on adding mana even if it has no time counters on it. I see. Right, seems good. Not much to complain about, right, chat? Not much to complain about here.